Alright, hello everybody. Um, Here's my update. I was actually not going to originally do a video updating my thoughts and stuff on my trip to Japan. I was just going to do my unboxing goods video and things like that. But you know what? I decided that I'll do it. I'll just highlight the concerts mainly, and then if you want to know more information, you can read my blogs, which will be linked in the description below. So as you can see, I am wearing my colors. This is from the Matsuri concert, and this is actually from the. I believe this is from the Matsuri also. Yeah, this is from the Matsuri also. And then my little glow stick. So it's funny because I find myself, now that I've actually been to a concert, a real Hello Project concert, and I've actually seen and actually started to use these. Now when I watch the concerts, I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be one of those guys that actually hold this up when I'm watching it, which is, I don't know. I always thought it was weird, but hey, whatever. It's a way to get into it and it's fun, so I can understand now. And I've got my two wristbands that I'm wearing. If you can see, there you go. If you saw the unboxing video, you would have seen it. So anyways, let's get right into it. So, many of you may have known, if you've seen any of my rants or seen any of my posts or anything, that I actually have not been a big fan of Berry's live performance overall. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed watching them, but as far as overall quality and workmanship, never thought he was the best. I always thought he was a little bit lacking. Although to be fair, I did see real Berryz and concert, and I actually really liked that one. And I haven't seen Professional yet, and of course I saw the two Matsuri concerts in Ariake Coliseum, and then of course the final in the Nippon Budokan, which were fantastic, by the way. So I'm going to just talk about the 4 concerts I went to. If you want more information about it, like I said, check out my blog post. It'll be very detailed. I'm going to have when I typed it up in Microsoft Word, it was like 11 pages. So you'll have a very detailed account. All I'm going to do is give you a rundown of how my experience was at the concerts. So first up, what I did was I went to, okay, so the first concert I went to was, of course, on the 28th, Ariake Coliseum, and that was actually called Berryz Matsuri, Berryz Kobo Matsuri. So interestingly about that, actually, it was basically a festival. I mean, think of like a summer concert or something like that, but the whole entire concert being dedicated directly to Berryz. So it was very interesting. I don't actually remember the set list off the top of my head, so I actually have it pulled up on my computer, so you'll probably see me looking at my screen rather than the camera looking like I normally do. If you see my eyes shifting, that's why I'm actually looking at that. So, so interestingly, the first day, what they did was they actually started off with all the groups in order of seniority, I guess it is, performing their new single. So there's Kobushi Factory, Country Girls, Juice Juice, Anjurumu, Morning Musume 1-5, and Cute. And they closed out with Cute. It was actually kind of nice because I got introduced. I haven't heard anything from Kobushi Factory or Country Girls. So hearing their new singles was actually really good. I really liked Country Girls, actually. And Kobushi Factory blew me away. I knew nothing about them. I heard the single and I immediately wanted it. It was really, really good. Juice Juice did Wonderful World, which was pretty good. And Anjurumu did Taiki Bansei, which you know already I love. So it was nice to see that live. Chikibun was done by Morning Musume, and Tsugi no Kado wo Magare was done by Kyuto. So, which was actually pretty good too. I didn't like it when I first heard it, but coming back, like now that I'm here and I've heard it, I actually like it quite a bit, which is, I think is kind of funny. So, that being said, so that was that, and then there was a little bit of a very cute song, and then there was an MC. There was a break. There was like a 10-minute break. And then there was what I would call like the tribute section. It was basically all covers of various songs or things like that, or groups, things like that. So, I mean, it was interesting because it started off with, if I remember correctly, actually, no, they didn't have the break first. First, Berryz and Cute performed together, and then there was an MC, and then, and then there was a set of groups. shuffle groups kind of. So ZOIX performed, performed, Dance in Your Heart performed, Guardians 4 and High King. I was actually really happy to see Fore Fore, Forest for Rest actually perform. That was my highlight for that specific section of the concert. I really liked that song, and I never thought I would see it perform, and being able to see it perform before Berryz leaves was phenomenal. I was really happy about that. And then after that, there was a 10-minute break, at which point, then each group did one dedication song for them, for Berryz. So Country Girls did Warachao Yo Boyfriend, Juice Juice did Kokuhaku no Futsuu Hiroba, and Cute did Moto Zuto Ishoni Itakata, which they did really well, by the way. Kabushi Factory and the Kenshusei did Madayade, which was actually really fun to see also. Anjumu did Ryusei Boy, which was decent. And one of the highlights, in my opinion, was Morning Musume 1-5 doing Aiwa Itsumo Kimi no Naka ni. That was actually really cool to see, and I was actually really happy about that. A little disappointed Berryz wasn't the one that performed that, because that was one of the ones I was looking forward to the most seeing live, but it was good nonetheless. After that, there was a bunch of Bono songs. I'm not the biggest fan of Bono myself. I'm not saying anything bad about them. It's just not my type of music, but I understand their importance and I understand why people love them. So as a result, it was really cool to see a bunch of Bono songs. There's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 6 Bono songs back to back, and that was actually pretty cool for the Bono fans. And it's nice to see them again together, you know, because who knows when we'll see them again. You know, when Miyabi comes back later in the future, maybe we'll see her again, and then we'll have them, since Momoko's still in, you know, and then Airi is still in Hello Project. So maybe, but I mean, we don't know for sure. So we'll see what happens. So that was that. And then we had like a 30-minute break, and then we got right into basically a whole entire Berryz concert, through and through. It was just Berryz, Berryz, Berryz. It was actually really good. I actually liked the song selection. Some of the things that really stood out to me was Be Genki, Asian Celebration, which was their opener. Muna Sawagi Scarlet, I was really happy to see live. That's my favorite Berryz song, and I didn't think I would ever see it live. I didn't know it was popular. I didn't think it was, but apparently it is. So that made me really happy. Heroine ni Naroka is a very powerful song, so I was happy to see that live. Dakishimete Dakishimete was another highlight. And I think the thing that I was hoping wouldn't happen, but it did end up happening, was Tomodachi wa Tomodachi Nanda was in the encore, and that slayed my heart. And I was just saying, you know, that would be the perfect song to have near the very end of the concert, and that's what they started off their encore with. And then they ended with Sono Subete no Ai ni. So, you know, overall, I actually think it was very, very well done. The concert, the performance itself was very well done. There was barely any mistakes, and considering Risako's voice was actually gone, or at least she was sick, so it was an issue, I was actually impressed that she did pretty well, and everybody did well, and the dancing was well choreographed. It was just, they all just did really well. I was really impressed. I had a pretty decent seat, actually. There was the Coliseum was, of course, like this, and then you have the stage like this and a T. So, and then the stage went right. Like, I was right here on this side. This is the stage. This is the stage. I was right here. So it wasn't that bad. I had a pretty decent seat. I was on second floor, but still pretty good. I could see everything. It was pretty nice. And that was really cool. The second day, I was actually over here, but because I was in my own section, I actually managed to get away from Risako, because over there nobody was participating nearly as much, so I jumped up down to one of the parts, and I totally got the attention, so that made me happy, because otherwise it was hard in my section. People, I noticed they usually would either do the sides or first floor, or arena, who was getting most of the attention, so our area didn't get that much, all things considered. So that was cool. On the second day, I got a worse view, but I got a wave from Risako, so that was nice. I was actually happy with the second day because they actually had a different set list for before their actual concert. Same thing. It started off with the new songs, Kobushi Factory did the same song since they didn't really have, I don't think they have a B-side announced at least or anything for that song yet. But Nen Niwa Nen is fantastic. I was happy to see it again. Country Girls, Juice Juice, Anjurumu, all did the other side of their singles. I was especially happy to see Otome no Gyaku Shu live. I've heard so many amazing things about it live, and being able to see it and confirm it, it was fantastic. Lovely. I loved it so much. Morning Musume did 1, 2, 3, which really got the crowd going. And Cute did the middle management as the other side of the song, which was good too. And then we jumped right into, of course, 10-minute break, and then we had the dedication section. One thing I was really happy to hear was Cho Happy Song was what they started with. Very Cute went up. And then we had the other groups, of course, come up. We had this pretty much the same little section of what do you call it? Miscellaneous groups. I forget what it's called. I just said the word too. Like ZYX, Dance in Your Heart, Guardians 4, and Kai King. So that was cool. And then the dedication section, we had Happiness, Kofuku Kange was Country Girls. Today's My Birthday, Juice Juice, Loving You Too Much, Cute. That was fun to hear, actually. PDD to Yuko, that was really nice to see Kobushi Factory and Ken Shusei do that. Because it really sounds best when kids are singing that, so that was really cool. Gag Hyaku Kaibun Aishite Kudasai was Anjurumu, and I was really happy. Morning Musume 1-5. Once again, I think they did a really good job picking. They did Chinggis Khan. That was cool. And then, of course, we had the Buono songs. That one was a bit emotional. Aidi actually got really worked up because that was it. For all intents and purposes, that was the last time Buono was going to perform together in the foreseeable future. So she got really emotional during the last song, Tabidachi no Uta, and it was tough to see. But they did do well overall with the performances. And then the Berryz section was essentially the same. There's a couple of differences here and there. Actually, no. There was a handful of differences here and there, but overall mostly the same. I was happy that they did Happy Stand Up. I was happy that they did this day they did Koi Seiyo, which I really like. But otherwise, yeah, the ending was the same. The encore was the same. So it was kind of cool to see a different starter, and then see mostly the same in the actual Berryz concert. That was neat. So it was really good. One of the biggest things I noticed was energy. The energy that they were given. And I don't know if this is normal for a Berryz concert in comparison with the Morning Musume, because Morning Musume I always see a lot of energy. But you have to remember, when you're watching a DVD, they lower the volume of this crowd to a bit, except for parts where it's important to have them loud. So you don't really hear the energy as much. So maybe it's just because I've never been in one in person, in a concert in person. I don't know what it's like, because it was loud and it was amazing seeing all that. It was really cool. I totally got into it. I was starting to get the hang of the chants and the how to do this. And it's actually not that bad, especially having taken a music class and always listening to music. It's just all with staying with the rhythm. The question is, are you going to do it in twos, or are you going to do it in twos, or are you going to do it in fours, to the timing, depending on how the crowd's doing it. If it's a slow section, maybe they'll do it in twos or ones even. It depends. But I figured it out, and I figured it out, and I started getting into it and knowing the dances and everything. It was kind of cool. So that was fun. And then we had, oh gosh, we had the worst part. So, of course, on the final day, we had the final itself. That was tough, I'll tell you. For one, I want to make it clear that the concert itself, flawless. Except for one little part, which I'll get to, but for all intents and purposes, absolutely flawless. The set list that they chose was beautiful. Just the overall vibe, the overall feeling, the energy, just everything about it was just so amazing. They did such a good job. Once again, even with the Risako being sick, she did a really good job. Like, they were really in sync. Oh, by the way, for the previous concert, they had some farewells for the second Ariake concert. He had some farewells. Mayumi went up, broke down, Saki hugged her. It was pretty intense, actually. Because they apparently, I guess they weren't really having any proper farewells in the final concert. It was just all Berryz, which I can understand. So Yoshi, Charmy, Kaorin, and then all of the leaders of all of the groups went up, the main groups, and Mayumi was the OGs, and Mayumi were really the only ones that spoke, and yeah, that was pretty emotional, actually. So anyways, back to the final. So the final was actually really well done. I don't know if I mentioned already, Berryz chose the set list for that. So, and I think it was spot on. They chose all the right songs. All the right songs. It was really nice. And that was cool. So I enjoyed that. They had an opening act, of course, which I didn't miss, thankfully. I would have missed if I had tried to meet up with my friend's friend, because he was running late. I didn't miss it, thank goodness. It was Kobushi Factory, Country Girls, and Juice Juice. Each of them doing their new songs, which was fun to see again. And then they opened with a song that had one of the loudest responses I've ever heard in my life. And they opened with Special Generation. That killed the crowd. The crowd absolutely went nuts. And it was well deserved. And that was really nice to see. They transitioned into rock erotic. Or erotic rock, however you look at it. The way they represent it's kind of weird. But point being, they did that. They did the introduction. The introduction was really touching because the introduction video was actually like them as kids and then adults, and it was really cute the way they did it. It was very different from concerts I've normally seen. Once again, I normally only watch Morning Musume concerts, so maybe it's different with Berryz, but usually it's just, you know, you show a person, they come across the screen, and then their name. You know, that's usually how they do the intros. This, they actually had video. It was pretty cool. I really liked how they did that. Let's see, highlights. There was the stage was actually like a castle, so it had this like Cinderella theme, which is really neat. And when they actually came up for Nijuichi Ji Made no Cinderella, they were actually wearing princess outfits, and that was amazing. It was very appropriate. They really did really well. They transitioned into Romanzo Katatte after that, which was also appropriate. And it was just really cool to see. Like it was really well done. They really coordinated the concert into the castle really well, with them going up and down, and then of course it was in Budokan, of course, so into the front area. They did a lot back and forth between the three areas, which was really nice. But you know, I think the thing that killed it the most for me was after that section, they had a change of clothes. They ripped off their dresses, and they had another costume set for like 3 songs. And then when which they did, of course, their original single, when they switched off their costumes, they did their original single. They had to do it somewhere in there, of course. Anata nashi dewa irarenai. So yeah. And then from there, they transitioned into there was a little bit of a break where they had some more footage, which was really fun to see. Actually, they did a really good job with the VTRs this time around. And then you could see them all peeking, and they were all in the monkey outfits. And of course, they led straight into Yuke Yuke Monkey Dance. That blew my mind. I never in my life thought I would ever see them do it. I figured that song would be in this performance. I figured it would have to be. But I never imagined that I would see them actually in the outfits. It was perfect. It was the cutest thing, and you know, it's just really touching to see them just like have that youthfulness. Just say like, I don't care, even though we're adults. I mean, I realize in the idol scene, a lot of these costumes are over the top and silly anyways, but it's just like something like that's pretty obnoxious. And to see them go up and just sing, and this, if I'm not mistaken, they chose all the set lists, so that means they had to have chosen the costumes too. The fact that they decided to do that made my day, and that probably got the loudest cheering from me out of the whole entire concert. In fact, from then on, I was actually a lot more energetic because of that having happened. They transitioned into I'm So Cool after that, and then Cha Cha Sing, which I totally danced along to. That was really fun, and it was a really good set of 3 songs that they did. They had some more MCs. I think it was around here that Yurina actually, I don't remember where it was, it might have been a little bit later, but Yurina had a problem with her dress, I guess, and she had to go in the back? Or was that wasn't the final? That was actually, I think that was the last concert. I can't remember. It was either this or they all kind of blurred together since it was like day to day, back to back to back. It kind of went, you know, it was like a continuous journey basically. But it might have been the second Ariake concert or the final. I don't remember which one. But she had a wardrobe problem. It had to have been Ariake actually, because I don't remember any issues with this one. She went to the back, and then during that time they improvised a little thing, and then she came back. They did a pretty good job with it. And they just jumped right back into the concert. Anyways, back to this. So they did Jiriri Kitaru, which was really sweet to see. What's another one that they did that was really standout? Suchaka Mechaka is always fun to see live. That was really cool. And of course, this was what killed it. They chose the most emotional songs they could have possibly picked for the encore. First encore is Bye Bye Matane. Of course, seriously, they had to do that, but it was appropriate. Really touching. At this point, everybody was starting to get really emotional. And then it was Towa no Uta. Once again, emotional, very meaningful song, and very appropriate for what they were doing. And after that, they did a double encore. And for those of you that have been keeping up, you probably already know this, but they did. So they had a piano player, and they had a rearrangement of Love Together, their last new song, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Like, granted, they were all crying during it, so they didn't all sing the best to the best of their abilities, but it was very well done mix, and you know what? Like, it was a very beautiful ending to the concert. Everybody broke down. You could hear a lot of sniffling in the crowd, and it was really tough. For the first third of the song, nobody really cheered along, just because it was a very mellow rearrangement of the song, so I guess people just didn't know how to grasp on how to approach cheering or chanting to the song. If you watch a concert, for the first time that Risako gets a loud chant, right before that, in the lyric line right before that she has, okay, she has two lines. There's one line, there's a slight pause with no real chanting, and then there's her second line, and then there's a loud chant. And at that point, that's when everybody started to jump in for each person. If you listen closely, you'll hear a faint Risako yell in the background. That's me. So I made my mark. So yeah, so there was a lot of chanting. The last about quarter of the song, we all sang together. They of course had the lyrics on the VTRs. For the most part, I was able to read it, so I was able to sing along too. And yeah, it was tough. It was tough. You know, I understand this is the idol industry. You know, it involves youth, and once you hit a certain age, it's not the time anymore. They have to move on. It's not the same as standard J-pop, you know. For example, Ayumi Hamasaki, she's still going, but she's J-pop. That's different from the idol scene. Idol scene is representative of youthfulness. So I understand that they got to move on, and not to mention they've been there since birth. When it really boils down to it, since they were very young children up till now, their whole lives they've been Berryz. So I mean, they have to move on. They have to move on with their lives. So for those of you that are saying, "Oh, I don't want to follow groups anymore," or "A Hello Project doesn't matter anymore," don't be silly. This is part of the industry. This is what we're in for. You know, if you're joining in the idol industry, and that's what you're into, you better expect this. This is what it is. Cute's gonna be gone soon enough. I say a year or two, but it could be longer. But they're gonna be gone soon enough. They're getting old too. And then it's just gonna be everybody else. They'll be the new Hello Project. That's how it is. That's what idols are all about. If you want standard J-pop, go listen to standard J-pop. People that stick around for as long as they can in their lives. Idol's gonna be different. It's all about shifting, changing personalities, talent switches, sometimes not even no talent, but just personalities that people love and watching them come and go. That's what it's about. So that's my 2 cents. I'm very sad that Berryz is gone. They played a very important part of my life for the last 10 years. I've been listening to them since 2005. Even though I haven't followed them extremely actively, only for the beginning third and the last third of their time here, they've been very important. Their songs have been really meaningful. And one thing I noticed while listening to the final completion box the whole way through, I enjoyed every single on there. I didn't skip anything. I enjoyed it. I sang along to all of them. I can't even do that with Morning Musume. It's very small, but there's a small handful I just can't stand, so I skipped them. Not here. I actually did all of them, and you know that's very representative of the quality of them, you know. And I think that's part of it too. Cute's kind of the same, you know. I'm not a big fan of all of their songs, but skill-wise, they've developed quite a bit. And you watch them develop, rather than them switching out as soon as they get really good, which is how Morning Musume works, for example. That's just the nature of it. So it was just tough to see them go, you know, and accepting that, you know what, like when the next bout of singles that are already coming out by the mid-April, we're gonna have Kobushi Factory, Country Girls, Juice Juice, and Morning Musume having released new singles. Not to mention, we recently had Anjurumu release a single. And Cute. So basically, everybody's gonna have a new single by mid-April, but Berryz isn't on that list. So it's tough. It's tough to see in that sense, but like I said, that's the nature of it. From my understanding, what everybody's going to be doing after, actually, you know what, I'll talk about that next week. So that's irrelevant. This is supposed to be my Japan trip. So that's it. As far as the rest of the trip, I didn't see a Lavender concert too. That was rad. You know, I saw them in San Francisco. That was cool. But they did a lot. They crunched a lot on Morning Musume songs because their song list was really low. This was all original music, well, mostly. There was like a couple of covers, but they were rock covers of rock songs. So it was almost completely original music, which is great. It was really fun, really energetic, small venue, so a lot of personal interactions we had with them. And Zoe was there, and they rocked completely. In fact, Megu, whatever her name is, I'm not too familiar with them, but she was actually the guest bassist. And Ayumu they both actually did sing a couple of songs, which was really cool to see. And it was just full of energy. It was really fun. This was at Shinjuku Blaze. It was the final concert of their 2014-2015 Steal Your Heart tour. Fantastic. And honestly, I'm actually happy I got to see that afterwards, because it was a very good closure to Japan. I didn't end on a sad note, I ended on a very happy note. And yeah, it was a fun trip. I spent most of my time with concerts, hanging out with the guys from Idol Swap, which was really fun. I got to see Alita and Michael. They're some of the nicest people I've ever met. And it was really cool. Navigating was pretty easy overall, once I got used to it past the first day. And my language skills actually got put to use. I'm not fluent. I'm not very well versed. I can barely understand when people speak to me, but I got by just well enough so that I didn't need English spoken to me. That was cool. Shibuya was fun to see. Harajuku was fun to see. And yeah, overall it was a cool trip. I spent a lot of time in the Hello Project shop in Akihabara. Actually, I spent a lot of time in Akihabara overall. Spent a lot of money. I don't regret it though. I'm very happy I made this decision. It was last minute. I really killed myself funds-wise. I'm supposed to be moving out soon, and I'm very broke. But you know what? I don't regret it. It's something I'll never be able to do again, and I was there to experience it, and I'm very happy I was able to be a part of that. And maybe if I have the money, because I'll hopefully have a better job and I'll have better time management, I'm not going to spend as much money anymore. I might go next year. See Morning Musume, Anjurumu, all the rest perform. Or if Cute announces sometime soon that they're leaving, then I guess I'm gonna have to figure out how to go. But as it stands, spent a lot of money, very broke, but totally worth it. And I regret nothing. So, yeah. So next week is gonna be continued coverage of all Berryz things. I do have an unboxing video, but because it's not Berryz focused, I will not have that up until the week after next. It's just Taiki Bansei and stuff like that released recently. So yeah. So once again, if you want full coverage, which is really long, check down below. If you don't see it right away, I'm going to be uploading it in the probably Monday. Monday, that is the... Let me check the date. Monday, that is the 16th. I'll probably be uploading the actual blog post Monday. So if you don't see it yet, check the video back on Monday on the description and it'll be down below. For everybody that checks it from the 16th and on, it'll already be there. And then of course, if you're a Facebook friend of mine, I have a link to all the photos I took. Not a lot, because I was mostly at concerts. There's some. check down below. I have a link to that too. Thank you for watching, guys. Sorry that my obsession video for today is very long, but it's an important one. Next week's will be significantly shorter, and I have a little bit of a surprise for what I'm going to do for next week. You may or may not expect it. Like I said, it is a Berryz dedication next week, continuing from this week. See what it is. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys later.